I've never made a full game before. Well, I've tried to in the past, but ended up failing miserably. But that all changes because today, I'm starting my very first complete game. A pixelated 2D rage platformer called A Little Trolling. So I loaded up Game Maker and started the project. Before I start, I've given myself these 2 rules that I must abide by. Number 1. I must release the game on the 1st of September, no matter the game's progress. Number 2. All the code must be made by me. That means no copying, stealing, or having someone else make the code for me. With these rules established, let's jump right into. I started off by making folders for different assets I'll be using in Game Maker, and made a new document for the game's progress and design in Milanote. Hashtag not sponsored. And started working on my first task of the day, making the player. I started by making the player object and put it in the game objects folder. Then came a prototype for the player sprite, and it was... Oh gosh. You know what? That's gonna work. He's beautiful. He's magnificent. I gave the player object the sprite and then started on the actual ground for the player to walk on. I used a blank color just as a base plate for me to work on, and made this simple script for the player to move around using the arrow keys and spacebar. But the screen was way too small. So a couple quick tutorials later, I was able to change its size and it looks much better now. I also added player camera tracking and tweaked it until I was happy with it. That leaves spikes and player respawn for the day. But I was told my family was going out to eat and I was starving. So... Somebody once told me the world is gonna... Alright, I've got a new list for today and need to finish up yesterday's. I started off the day by making the spike sprite an object, and using this code, the player now respawns when touching the spikes. With day 1's list out of the way, I can now finally work on day 2's list. I struggled to figure out how to add jump buffer to the player's jump. But after a few different tries, I got it working. Now my game has player movement, obstacles, and respawning. So what naturally came next was making a level finish line so you can progress through the game's levels. I ended up making this okay portal sprite and attached it to the level finish object. And through a collision event with the player, the level now progresses to the next one in order. The base gameplay is looking pretty solid now, but it feels a little stale. Sound effects. I decided on making just 2 sound effects to start. I made a jump sound effect and a land sound effect. These may not be the final sound effects, but they'll do for now. So I imported them into Game Maker, and this is how it sounds. Here's a look at the game so far. And that was my first ever devlog. I'll be posting more, so make sure to subscribe to keep track of the game's progress before September. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Later!